Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. I am Crystal Turner. I am your holistic mental wellness boss, and I am coming back with video number 3 that I am sharing today in regards to all things healing. All things healing. I love to talk about healing because healing has been a very wonderful part of my life. Once I've started that journey, it has not been the easiest journey, but it has always been rewarding, and it will continue to be that as I go on. So I invite you to be on this channel to go through that journey alongside me, wherever it is that you might be in your healing journey. If you're just starting, if you've been in it for a while, if you've been in it for quite a while, let's journey together. And so today I want to talk about something I love talking about, which are herbs. I want to talk about 3 herbs that have been beneficial for my mental health. And herbs is something that I did not always use. I wasn't always into herbs. I hardly liked vegetables for a long time. So this whole idea of getting into herbs is very interesting how it came about for me. First of all, I've been vegan for maybe 5 years. And when I first went vegan, two of the big things I really wanted to get from that was to get more attractive skin, and I wanted to lose some weight. And so both of those things were happening a little bit, but not quite to the point that I felt I would have liked it to be. And so I remember when I first went vegan, I weighed 177 pounds, which is very above the norm for me. For a long time, I was in my 140s. And so I was 177, went vegan, and I got down to 166 pounds. And I couldn't shake it. I would go to the doctor, get weighed, and every time I would go back, it would just fluctuate between 164 or 166, which is very frustrating. So at some point, I decided to do a detox journey, a detox program with this 21-day detox journey that I was doing. And in that journey, we had the option to do a one-on-one session with the person who was the facilitator for the detox program. And so I did that, and I came to her and I told her some of my health concerns that I had because she asked this. So I mentioned wanting to lose some weight, but that was the whole purpose of the detox journey, of the detox program in the first place. But I also mentioned that I was having this issue with uterine fibroids. And for the fellas, you might not know much about that. Maybe you do. But for the girls, you know what the whole thing is with uterine fibroids, the issues that it can bring up for you, the discomfort it can bring up for you, the heavy cycles that can bring up for you, the way it can kind of control your whole day when your cycle is on, if you know what I mean. And so I was talking to the facilitator about this. And as I was talking to her, wanting to know how I could improve this, she told me to get a pen and let me take some notes. And so as I was taking the notes, she started telling me all of these herbs to get. She said, get you some blessed thistle, get you some ginger, get you some black cohosh, get you some licorice root. And I'm just writing this down, and I don't know anything about it because I've never used herbs ever before prior to this, but I'm writing it down. I'm taking all the information. She told me where to purchase these herbs from, and she told me how to prepare them. And so I did it. I got all those things. I prepared it exactly how she told me to. Drank it for about 2 weeks, and then in about 2 weeks, it was time for my cycle to come back. And when that happened, it was a completely different experience. None of the negative effects that I had been feeling in the past, I had none of those. It was such an improvement. It completely impressed me. And I was just shocked because I never thought that herbs could play that role and make that impact in my life. To see these herbs obviously not curing me in that moment, but it definitely made a major shift in my body, that caught my attention. And me being this mental health advocate and this mental health I'm going to say pioneer or trailblazer, I wanted to know instantly how herbs could impact one's mental health. And so that's what I started to do my studying in. That's what I started to get more training in, to get more understanding of herbs and how I could utilize them for mental well-being. And so just want to say that I never talk about herbs as healing because technically I can't really say that they're healing, but I can say that they have been remedies for people. It's been things that people have used for many years, long ago, and they are herbs. They are things that people use today, and people have stated their benefits from utilizing herbs. And so first, let's talk about a little bit about herbs. So herbs are basically plants. They're plants. And so you might hear me use those words interchangeably: herbs, plants. Some people refer to them as plant medicine because, again, people from long ago, this is what they use for medicine. This is what they use to help with all different types of ailments. In addition to that, when I think about medicine in the Western culture that I've prescribed, oftentimes medicine from Western culture that we all know about, when you prescribe it, it is doing a thing where it is manipulating the body in some type of way to get an effect. And by doing that, a lot of times there are side effects because this is an unnatural thing now that's happening to try to make something improve a situation. And because it's not a natural way for things to operate or the body to operate, because we have to manipulate the body, we end up having side effects because when you give to something, it's like something is taken away from another thing within how the body operates. What I have come to know about herbs is that not that herbs can't have side effects. There are some side effects that some herbs can have, but in a general sense, when we talk about herbs or we talk about plants, it is doing a thing that's causing your body to work more cohesively together. So I say that to say there's not an herb that I really identify as specifically for mental health or to help my mental state, because it is helping with numerous parts of the body. It could be helping with my digestive system. It could be helping with my heart. It could be helping with, with my breathing. It's with my lungs. So there are different things that herbs can do, but it tends to be where it is working cohesively for the whole body to cooperate with one another more. And that is a beautiful thing. And so it's important that, and what I found was important on my journey is as I used herbs to study my whole self, not just how my mental health was impacted, but I also paid attention to whatever things I noticed within my physical body that may have been giving me problems, how I was showing up differently, what was that being impacted, and in many situations it was, which is super duper cool. So let's get into it though. There are 3 herbs that I want to talk about that I have found that have been very impactful for my mental health on my healing journey, and I want to share these with you. So the first one is the first herb I ever tried when I was, after the herbs that the facilitator told me about when I was dealing with the physical issues I was dealing with. When I was looking for different herbs, the first one I looked at was hawthorn berry, because I don't know if you can see it when it's sitting on the table, but this is hawthorn. Not hawthorn berry, this is hawthorn leaf. I'm sorry, hawthorn leaf. Hawthorn leaf is one that I had started using as a tea. Wasn't sure what the benefits would be. I wanted to study myself as I began to use this. And as I started using it, there were a number of things that I noticed. First of all, I noticed myself being more calm, more relaxed, more not stressing as much with situations. And as I studied this plant and came to see what other people's benefits were, it's been said to be a plant medicine that can help with the heart. Now, let me just mention all of these herbs, all 3 of these herbs are considered heart openers because in some type of way they do impact the heart, or are thought to impact the heart in one way or another, and we'll talk about that. But with this plant, it has been thought to help the heart by dilating the vessels, the arteries, which helps with circulation. Some people have used this plant or it's been said in some literature that it can help with congestive heart failure, or it's been used for congestive heart failure. And so it's one of those, in the physical sense, it has this way that it can impact the heart. And then it also can be used or it has been used to manage anxiety, to manage stress. From an emotional or the essence of this plant, the spiritual nature of this plant, it has been known and associated with the heart chakra. So opening up the heart to be able to deal with heartache, particularly heartache as it's related to failed relationships. So in a lot of literature, it has been noted that it's been used in those ways. And I can say when I've used hawthorn, I have been more open. I've definitely been more of a loving nature when I've used hawthorn, and I've definitely noticed being more relaxed. So that is hawthorn leaf. There is another part of the plant for hawthorn that's called hawthorn berry, but this is hawthorn leaf. The next plant I want to talk about is motherwort. Motherwort is also, again, it's another heart opener. There are people who have used motherwort to help with heart palpitations. Sometimes we get heart palpitations when we're anxious and when we're nervous. And so it's helped to relax that for many people. It's definitely been used for stress and anxiety. And it's been thought to also help with increasing confidence in people and increasing levels of optimism as well. Motherwort is a plant that does not taste good. Let me just say, it does not taste good, but it's very bitter. And what I can say about plants that are bitter, that are called bitters, is they tend to have a direct correlation and benefit to our gastrointestinal system. And if you didn't know, there is a direct relationship between our gut or our digestive system and our brain health. When our gut health and brain health, or when our gut health is healthy, we tend to do better with our brain health and with our mental health. When I am prescribing medications, antidepressants, what we're trying to do was increase the amount of happy chemicals, certain brain chemicals, or certain chemicals that we have in the brain that help with mood, that help with anxiety. We're trying to increase that with certain antidepressants. When it comes to our gut health, we have more of those chemicals in our gut. And so imagine if we have a healthier gut, how much more that could help our mood, help us with anxiety, and help just with that connection. There's no coincidence why when we're nervous, or we have a nervous stomach, or we get an upset stomach. It just shows very clearly how there's a connection to our nervous system, which is part of our brain, and our brain health, and our gut. So just keep in mind, gut health and brain health, and motherwort is one that can be supportive of that can be beneficial to that relaxation, that calmness, dealing with those levels of worry that some people tend to hold. And then my final herb, and it is really my favorite, it's about one of my favorite plants that I have loved for a long time, even outside of using it in the form that I would use it now. It has been with me a long time, and that is rose. I love the color of rose. I just love how vibrant this leaf is. It's beautiful. And I've always loved rose. I remember being in church at 6 years old and laying there bored in church and smelling a lady's perfume next to me that just completely woke me up. And she had on this like rose or floral scent perfume that I have never forgotten. I can smell that scent now. And I've always worn floral prints. I love floral prints in my clothes. Whenever I see roses, it just makes me happy. I love it. But when I learned that I could take rose as a tea and I tried it, it was amazing to me actually how much I experienced from it, how beneficial it was for me personally. Now everybody has a different experience with different plants, but based on our own makeup. But this is one that has just been agreeable with me across the board. And some of the things that rose is known to be used for is to help with stress. And for many people, it's helped to manage their sleep by, helping to relax. And that's the whole thing that's happening when we're talking about stress, is helping to relax. And so it's been used in these ways in the past. Also as an aromatherapy, it's thought to help with stress and depression, to uplift our mood and to take down the depression. From a spiritual standpoint, this plant, I think we all know, has been associated with love, and it's the plant of love, and it's been used in this way, or thought to be used to help people who have dealt with shame or issues with their sexuality and being comfortable with their sexuality, being comfortable with their body when they're feeling timid about their body, just helping you to be like more confident in your body. And it's been known to increase levels of confidence utilizing rolls. I do know that when I've used rolls, I'm more open. I let things go a bit easier, and I've just been more open, really in a more loving space. And I would say this about when it comes to plants, it's important to, first of all, be open. This week particularly, I've been talking a lot about curiosity when we're talking about our own healing path. And it's so important because oftentimes we only have this one little box of knowledge. And it's a very small box when you compare it to the world, and we've only attained so much information in regards to our well-being, our mental well-being. Many of us don't know much about our mental well-being and how to increase our mental well-being. And so being curious helps us to navigate out of this sometimes rigidity that we have in trying anything new or different, and being able to explore concepts and different modalities that we never would have considered. But when we try it, we can find that it can be life-changing. So to be able to be on this quest of knowledge and curiosity so that you can be open to more possibilities on how to manage your own well-being. And so, that's really the truth about my own situation. Had I not been open to trying these herbs that this facilitator had given me to deal with the one issue that I was having, I would have never seen how impactful it was to my body in that way. And then that piqued my curiosity to want to know, how can these things help with us in an emotional way? Which is very important, because how we show up in the world from an emotional standpoint and from how we're thinking, that's how we're creating our life. We're creating from our thoughts and our emotion. And when we can manage those more, then we have friends that can help us along the way. They are not a cure, but they are a friend, because at the end of the day, these plants can be beneficial in helping you to go within and study yourself more, to have better outcomes for yourself. At the end of the day, we have to do our own work, but we can utilize what God has made and understand our interconnectedness and how we can benefit from one another. And so that is what I wanted to share with you today. Please hit the like and subscribe button if you have not already. Please also share this with someone who you think could benefit. And I will see you in the next video. I'll be sharing a new video every week. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Until we meet again, it's psychiatric nurse practitioner who has gone holistic, because I know to be whole is to be healed. I'll talk to you soon.